So no one on the show gets residuals, though?
Nobody. Well, the guest stars.
Really?
Oh yeah, there's people who.
That's what I saw on Twitter. The people who, bro, the people who, you know, when they have a specific episode and you just need people in the background or a waiter that may say like one line, they get residuals, but the main characters don't get them.
Said 2 lines on one episode that still get checks in the mail.
That is pretty crazy that
Josh and I,
corporations.
not a dime.
It's your time, it's his time, it's Bam's time. Bam's time to sign. Abuse on set, Drake and Josh, and fatherhood with Drake Bell. So obviously I reacted to the what was it? It was some shit with Dan Schneider where the Zoe 101 and Victorious pretty much was exposing him for the shit he was doing back in the day. I think it was Quiet on Set. That's what it was, where it says right here. So now we about to see Drake Bell's side of the story. I heard that there was some phony shit going on in Drake Josh, and it's kind of unfortunate because we love Drake and Josh. It's fucked up how our childhood shows really had a lot of monster shit happening behind closed doors that we didn't find out about till we was in our 20s. Let's get straight to the video though.
Quiet on Set came out, everyone goes after this big bad man, when during all of that, the president of the network that had to sign off on every single script, every single joke, was a woman. Because it's Nickelodeon, we get nothing for it. There's 3 channels doing Drake and Josh marathons. Netflix just bought it, it's top 10 on Netflix, and I gotta figure out how to pay my rent this month.
The documentary was.
Now I did see that on Twitter. I was like, wait, what the fuck? Like, did he just do that for the video or this real? Like, he really, you feel me? Like, is he really struggling? Like, I wasn't sure.
The first time really anybody knew what happened to you.
Everyone knew what happened in the industry, and everyone loved him. He had these 41 letters of support. I would work with this person tomorrow. These letters are up.
You referenced you and your dad having some sort of falling out. What do you think you'll do to avoid some sort of situation like that with your son?
I don't know.
Today on Unplanned, we sat down with none other than Drake Bell. Now, if you're like me, I hadn't really seen Drake since the Drake and Josh days, but I had absolutely no idea until the
What the fuck?
sort of falling out. What do you think you'll do to... If documentary Quiet on Set came out that he was abused as a minor. The abuse happened in the early 2000s before Drake and Josh began filming. In this interview, Drake shares the lifelong impact the abuse has had on his career, why he doesn't receive residuals from Drake and Josh, and so much more.
I heard Josh Peck don't
You're
receive
a really big
residuals
part
either.
of our generation's childhood. How does that feel whenever you go out and like go to the grocery store?
Growing up, I've had encounters and interactions where I see people who I've like grew up on or that like shaped my childhood, and I get to meet them, and sometimes they're cool and sometimes they're not cool. And when they're cool, it's like, oh my God, that was the coolest experience. I'm gonna keep that forever. And then when they're not cool, you're like, oh man, what a bummer, because they kind of like ruined it for you. And
Yeah.
like there was one time I met Ray Charles. I was at an audition. I see Ray Charles around the corner. I'm like, Dad, I just saw Ray Charles. Ray Charles just went around the corner. And my dad's like, you did not just see Ray Charles. And I'm like, I think I
I don't
did.
know what that
So I
is.
get up and leave my dad, and I run around the corner, and and he's standing there waiting for the elevator. And it's him and this other guy is kind of holding his arm, right? And I'm so excited, stupid me, I like forget he was blind. I like run up and I just put my hand out to like shake his hand, and he's just kind of standing there, you know, like waiting for the elevator. And the guy with him goes, hey Ray, you want to shake this young man's hand here? And Ray, he goes, oh yeah, hey, put some in the pocket there, son.
Aww.
And I shake his hand, and he shakes my hand like real good, you know? And then he takes it and he puts his hand in his pocket, and then takes his hand out and pats his pocket like he put my handshake in his pocket.
That's
Aw.
And I was like, that was the coolest handshake I've ever seen from the guy was just oozing cool. Like his shirt was like straight out of the 70s. Like he was just oozing cool. He looked like a rock star, you know? And then I recognized the guy he's with, and I go, and you're and he's got a hat on, like a brim hat, you know?
Yeah.
And a suit, and he's so cool, and he just goes, the name's Quincy, and taps his hat to me, and the doors close, and it was Ray Charles and Quincy Jones. And
Wow.
it was like, I mean, just royalty. So I take away moments like that where I've gotten to meet people who I've really loved. And what'd that take for Ray? He was waiting for the elevator anyway.
I have to ask, did your dad believe you when you went back?
I'm trying to think back if my dad believed me, because I wasn't able to get a photo
Yeah.
or anything, you know, so.
That's
I don't know,
cool.
he probably thought I was making it up.
It's cool talking about how you and your dad were together, you know, at the beginning, even like towards the beginning of your career, you seem to have a really close relationship with your dad.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's interesting because we definitely had a time in our relationship where, you know, I'm sure a lot of...
Same old phone? Nah. Upgrade to the new Galaxy Z Fold 7.
Oh my god. I just won $60,000 from my car crash from this app from
fathers and sons. I really hope it doesn't happen with my son. Where we're at odds and we don't speak and we're this and I, you know, and I was also bamboozled a lot by the people that were around me, that he was taking my money and doing this and all to get me away from him and to get me into their clutches and things like that.
Is that a common thing that people will talk to child stars and try to get between them and their parents?
100%. 100%. And unfortunately, sometimes it's good advice and sometimes it's terrible advice. And coming from a place of like, I want to take advantage of this person and this person's in the way of that, so let's drive a wedge and get that person out of the way. But then there's also times where the parents are actually being abusive to the kids, whether it's physically or emotionally or mentally or monetarily.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first time we really learned about that going on, I think I'd heard about Coogan, who was an actor, and then they made Coogan accounts because of what happened to this kid Coogan when he was growing up back in the day.
So Jackie Coogan was an actor back in the day. I don't know if Charlie Chaplin, the kid, that's Jackie Coogan. Okay. And his parents pilfered a bunch of his ton of his money when he was a kid, and so they created the Coogan account, which takes 30% of all of the money that you make when you're under 18 and puts it and sets it aside. Unfortunately, there's a lot of loopholes that parents can figure out how to get through that. It's still a flawed system. Did you ever see the...
So parents really be taking money from their kids? I mean, I've been knew that there was something like that. Every child star or whatever doesn't have the best parents that are looking out for them and has their best intent. But it's kind of fucked up though, because you see, I don't know what I want my kid to be in this. Now that I know what's going on, obviously, because they parents, they probably don't know what was going on. We get to see and learn from, I guess you can say, their mistakes, I guess you can call it. We get to see and learn, okay, don't do this. Don't allow that. You feel what I'm saying? Don't allow this. Don't allow that. Yeah, like we don't know, like it's this type of shit that would make me not want my kid to be in no super. You feel what I'm saying? Like to be a superstar or to be on TV or all this other shit. Cause me, now that I know, I want to be present for everything. I want to see what's going on, what's being said to my kid. Now that I'm aware, I can't say I would have had this mind state 20 years ago. Obviously, I'm only 24, but if I were older and I had a kid and my kid was a child star, like in a show or something, I'm glad that I'm seeing this shit now so I can know, like, okay, you really got to be present for this and that because there's a lot of weird shit going on. These people try to get in between the kids with their parents. And there's a lot of parents, like he just said, that take advantage of their kids and take the kids' money.
Addams Family, the original Addams Family TV show, the black and white original Addams Family TV show. No. Anyway, Uncle Fester is Jackie Coogan, but he's an adult. That was
no way.
Yeah, so he played Uncle Fester in the Addams Family TV show. But anyway, he was basically the catalyst for the Coogan account because of what had happened to him. I mean, he was making movies and like he was in The Kid, you know, he was making movies before sound. So he was one of the early child actors.
Yeah, I think, at least for me, I read Jeanette McCurdy's book, and that really opened up my mind to everything that there is out there. I mean, I just had never thought...
And how that's still happening, like, recently.
Yeah, I just thought that every kid you see on TV, their life was perfect.
Yeah,
you know?
of course.
You just idolize them. You wanted to be... I mean, I wanted to be a Disney Channel kid when I was a child.
They done gone through hell to make us laugh, to make us smile. You know, when you a little kid coming back from school, what? Drake and Josh, huh? Zoe 101? iCarly? Victorious, all the other Disney XD shows, whatever. When you a little kid coming back from school or on the weekends, they went through hell. So we had something to watch. To this day, I still watch Drake, especially and y'all could do this too, whenever you feeling down or overwhelmed or maybe just something terrible just happened to you and you just don't know how to shake it off and you don't want to resort to nothing crazy to cope with it, go watch one of your favorite shows. Go watch one of your favorite shows growing up. I promise you, you're going to feel better. I promise you, it's going to put a smile on your face and you're going to feel way better. Way better. That's something I do.
kidding me?
Yeah.
Like,
And the
that seems like
perception of the
dream.
world too, and not just so much with like Nickelodeon kids, but it's the perception of the world has always been this way. Is like, you know, oh, you made a Folgers coffee commercial. You must live in a mansion in Hollywood. Like, I saw you on
Yeah.
TV. Like, you're rich.
Nah.
Well, that's far from the case, you know.
Nah.
And especially, which is the bummer for most of us on Nickelodeon, we don't get residuals
I saw that
for
on
our
Twitter.
shows. So we got paid, you know. It's interesting.
I was just watching. I seen Josh Peck on Twitter talking about how they don't get residuals for the show, but they got paid like $15,000 an episode, which is great. You feel me? But thinking long term, we still watching this shit on Netflix, right or wrong? This shit is on Netflix. They still making hella money off this on the back end, and you ain't giving them. You ain't giving them no money still. We only got paid that time when we shot it, an episode, but you guys are still putting it on multiple streaming platforms. Netflix, Hulu, what's the other one? Disney Plus. It's probably on everywhere. Apple TV, it's probably everywhere right now. Drake and Josh was huge. Still is big.
Like, so in film and television, like in music, like in anything, when you create a product and then somebody buys that product or sees that product over and over, then you get paid each time that product's used or anytime that music's played. Or, okay, I want to use your song in a movie. Well, you have to pay for that. Oh, I want to use your song in this commercial. You have to pay for that.
Right.
Or, I'm Jerry Seinfeld. Okay, well, I'm Channel 5. I want to buy the rights to show Seinfeld
good with y'all in the chat?
on my network. I want to pick up, okay, Netflix just bought Seinfeld, and now it's playing Seinfeld. Well, you have to pay the cast, and you have to pay the people for...
Oh, so they get paid residuals.
Everyone gets paid
but you don't.
residuals.
Just not Nickelodeon?
Everyone in television gets paid residuals. Everyone. That's how you make the majority of your money. You want to get into syndication. You want to get to 100 episodes so that you can get to syndication. And then you want to get into syndication because then you get your residual money. That's where you make your money. You make your like, for example, the Friends cast at the peak was making $1 million an episode.
That's crazy.
So if you make 13 episodes...
$1 million an episode? Friends wasn't that goddamn... I ain't gonna lie. I probably didn't give Friends a chance. I watched a good 7-8 minutes of it, turned that shit off. Turned that shit smooth off, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Friends was getting $1 million an episode? $1 million? What the fuck?
That year, you make $13 million. You make 20 episodes that year, you make $20 million, right? But right now, each cast member of Friends, just in syndication alone, is making over $20 million a year. And they're not filming a show every week. They're not going to work. But they're playing their show and they're using their likeness and they're doing all this, so they get paid for it. And they're making over $20 million a year just because other networks are buying the rights for syndication.
Is the
Netflix,
reason you
Hulu.
guys didn't get residuals, was that because you were kids and the people around you thought, oh, this is a great opportunity. I guess there's no residuals negotiated into this contract, but they're kids and this will probably help their career, so they just didn't think to fight for that?
Oh, keep going.
Is that why?
Keep going.
Was it?
Keep trying to figure it out.
No, he doesn't have it.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Right?
That's what I'm guessing.
Right? It's a lot of evil, corrupt people. That's the only thing that is the answer. There's no other answer. There's no other answer. No other answer.
So no one on the show gets residuals, though?
Nobody. Well, the guest stars.
Really?
Oh yeah. There's people who...
That's what I saw on Twitter. The people who, when they have a specific episode and you just need people in the background or a waiter that may say like one line, they get residuals, but the main characters don't get them. I don't understand that, bro. That shit weird. That shit is weird because in music, if you have your deal right or your paperwork right, however big a song keeps on blowing up, as long as you didn't sell your song to somebody else, you get the money still grows. People make money from a song that was fucking 10 years old. You get what I'm saying? That shit's crazy, bro. That is actually insane. And am I the only one who peeped that Drake Bell, he's actually a great actor, because how he is in real life was so... Obviously, you're not going to be who you were in your show in real life, but something about me, I think we all can agree, I always viewed the character you played as you in real life. I don't know what it is, I always did it. Did you do that? Because I did. And he's completely different than Drake, and this is a different Drake. than Drake and Josh. Obviously, he's older, but even if you can, it's just a different Drake, bro.
Said 2 lines on one episode that still get checks in the mail.
That is pretty crazy that
Josh and I, not a dime.
corporations like are making bag off of your show.
They just sold it to Netflix. It was top 10 on Netflix. Listen, I'm like, look, I was in New Jersey recently, and they had 3 channels of Nick channels, and they were all 3 marathons of Drake and Josh, and they had different episodes playing on each channel. It was 3 different channels, and each was a marathon of Drake and Josh. Well, what was coming on in between those? Cereal commercials and this commercial. I'm just looking at this going, that is so much money going to this corporation, and they're just making it up of all of this.
You should email Netflix and be like
all of these, and say what?
And say, hey, I know you legally don't have to give me anything, but could you just throw me a bone over here?
Yeah. And then
Do a Taylor.
my name is literally the name of the show that you just bought rights to.
Yeah.
That's
You
crazy.
would
Throw
think.
me a bone, please.
You would think, right? You would think.
But how does it?
I don't know.
How did it?
That's crazy
Yeah.
though. That's
and then
wild.
they do everything that they do to us mentally and emotionally, and then throw us to the wolves, and we're like, okay, cool. I got rent this month. There's 3 channels doing Drake and Josh marathons. Netflix just bought it. It's top 10 on Netflix, and I got to figure out how to pay my rent this month.
I don't understand. Like, how is that? Like, how is that possible? Like, how? It must be something that they just didn't know about because they were kids, and their parents probably didn't know nothing about it either. Because obviously, I can't expect the parents to know. Now that we're seeing this, so if you have kids who end up being in a hit TV show, now you kind of know how to go about it. But they're the first ones, not the first ones literally, but they had to crawl so we could walk pretty much. How is that possible to where Netflix? It is. Drake and Josh has been on Netflix for a very long time now. It's probably still on Hulu. It's probably still on Disney Plus, and it's making so much money. You can't throw Drake or Josh or Miranda Cosgrove and them, the parents. You can't throw none of them any money. That's crazy. Obviously, it took a team, but we the main characters on the show. We can't get no money, but y'all still using what we built to make bread, and we don't get nothing. TV show, bro. This TV show business, bro.
And some fat cat with a cigar is just sitting up at the top of Viacom just going, hey, isn't it great getting around? I mean, what do you call it? It's just like getting high on child labor.
So I take it you don't have a great
If we
relationship.
were making shoes, somebody probably would have come in and saved us, but we weren't. We were entertaining you.
That's heavy. I mean, that's definitely true, and a lot of that probably has to do with like the perceived glitz and glamour of Hollywood too. It's like, oh, well, they're living better than all of us.
And the other thing is like, oh, we don't get residuals. Well, I don't get residuals at my job. Like, stop whining. Like, you got to live a great, fantastic, like, rich life. And it's like, no, you don't. Like, people don't understand
I hate
how
when people say that,
the
bro.
business works.
They don't.
The business side of this. They just
Yeah.
see what the perception is on Instagram and social media and all of the glitz and the glamour of Hollywood. But it's like, for example, if you get a guest spot on a television show, you're going to get paid maybe $1,000. You're probably going to be a resident of California because if you're an actor, you're going to be probably residing in California. You're going to get taxed. So you're going to get your 30% tax on California. You're going to get your 50% tax from the federal government. Then you're going to have to pay 10% to your agent. Then you're going to have to pay 15% to your manager. Then you're going to have to pay 5% to your business manager. Then you're going to have to pay your publicist. And then you're negative. You're in the red.
They don't realize that
You're
shit.
not making all of this crazy money. It's all gone. And then you're not even accounting for the parking tickets that you had to pay for when you got to that audition because you didn't know that you were going to be in the audition room for an hour instead of 30 minutes. But you couldn't leave. You can't go out and pay your parking because they're going to call you in, or you're actually in the audition room and you're getting the $75 parking ticket and you have another audition that you have to go to and pay a $30 parking for that place. And then you've got your car. You live in LA, so you have to have a car. So you have to have your car insurance. You have to have your car payment. You have to pay for gas. So where is all of this money?
Yeah.
And then they set us up. We're kids. We're working on some kids this show. We're adolescent. We don't know what's going on, and we're like, okay, cool. Like, this is going to set us up. Like, we're putting in all of this work. This corporation is making billions with a B off of us, and you know, yeah, we're being compensated for the week of work. Cool. But that's it. And forever, in perpetuity, it literally says in the contract, across universes and galaxies and planets, like, I don't know the exact.
Actually?
Literally. If Elon gets us to Mars and they show Drake and Josh, it's impossible for me to get paid for it.
Do you think it's...
They were really thinking there.
Yeah, wow. I never even knew that was a thing.
Again, like I said, this is probably, like I said, just lack of experience and shit like that. Like, parents not knowing really what's going on. I'm not blaming Drake, Josh, or any of the other people. I'm just assuming it's something that they just didn't know what was going on. Because, you know, that's why it's good to be intelligent. You could say educated, but I prefer to use the word intelligent. Know how to read a contract, because they gonna put all these... That's why, like, I don't know about y'all. I hesitate even signing, like, regular shit. Like, shit that you have to sign, I still be wanting to read all of it, because y'all be throwing like, little words in there, like, and you may not know what that word exactly means, and then you sign it, and then you just fucked after that. You didn't realize what you just signed. So... the TV shit, it's shit sketchy, bro. And I can't say I wouldn't have accepted the offer, because I'm saying that in hindsight. All of us are saying this because we're seeing what happened. We can't say we wouldn't have did what they did, because we weren't in that, you know, it's easy to say we wouldn't have did it, because now we seeing the aftermath. But we really, back then, give it 2005, a lot of us taking the opportunity. Let's be real.
Do you think it was situations like that led to bankruptcy?
Absolutely. Absolutely, because you're also living in a situation where you're like, okay, I'm getting a good, obviously we're not working 52 weeks a year. We're not working like a normal job. So we do have to say, okay, we're only doing 6 episodes. We're only doing 13 episodes. And we had weird seasons. Oh, we're doing 22 episodes. So it's like, that's only 22 weeks of work. You got to make that last throughout the entire year. And like I said, with all of the expenses and all of the things, especially when you're actively working on a show, then you actively have publicity that you're paying for. That, you know, sometimes you can put your publicity on hold. Oh, I got a project coming out in 3 months. I'll put publicity on in a month. Oh, I got a project coming out at the end of the year. I'll wait in 6 months. I'll put my publicity on. But when you're like actively like on a show and stuff, you got your team, you've got stuff going. You're going to red carpet. You're trying to build your brand, and so the expenses are like out of control. And so that money that you're making really goes into like it's really just reinvesting into, like, for example, got the Amanda show. Okay, cool. What's next step? Okay, cool. Got Drake and Josh. Okay, cool. Oh, now we went and started did thing, and it's like, okay, what's the next thing? But all of those things require funding in like building your brand. And so that comes from the money that you're making in your job. Everyone else who's ever worked on a television show gets money when their shows air and their shows play. And we have, like, there's nothing, you know. Luckily for us, it was our real names. You know, I mean, you could take the cast of Zoe 101 and just put them all. I mean, I had friends who went into Target and didn't even know that their faces were on T-shirts.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. Shit. And literally were like, that's my face on all of these toys and shirts and everything. But because it's Nickelodeon and the way that they structure their deals, we get nothing for it.